I know. Oh, there we go.
Hey, everyone. I'm Joey Lee.
And I'm Alex Lee.
And we are here to talk to you today about outtakes.
Our personal growth journey and why you should be doing it, why it's important, and
why it's okay you can mess up and laugh at yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to write the title down on our cheat sheet.
We did.
Yeah.
I
So reflecting on success in life and in business.
I'm going to be getting better at lives. Clearly, I've got some more growth to happen there. So, but yes, we're very excited to chat with you guys. It's been a very long journey that we've been working on, but I would say probably for the last 9 or 10 years, at least for myself, that I've been even knowing what personal development was, bettering myself, just even choosing who I want to be around. And I was definitely noticing it was some of those people that were more positive and they had a great outlook on life, that not so much of the Debbie Downers and woe is me and all those types of things. And so I would definitely say about 9 years ago or something.
Yeah, probably when you really kind of started your entrepreneurial path.
Yes, I know you were much earlier.
I know I'm kind of weird. So really like in school, I kind of struggled when it came to reading and doing different things, mainly because I found it boring and uninteresting.
Same.
Like it had nothing to do with that I couldn't read or anything. I know you had some vision problems, so that's a little bit different.
I just couldn't read, so.
Yeah, but for me, like, I don't know, I remember reading, looking back at it now, probably even in high school and stuff, different personal development books. And it's not just when we talk about personal development, it's not just like, the feel good mental
frou kind of stuff.
It's I was reading sales books, I was reading marketing books and stuff in high school and in college, and books on trading stocks and all different kinds of stuff. So I would classify all that stuff as personal development, as well as like books about leadership and how to work better with people. The Dale Carnegie was one of my first ones, like how to win friends and influence people. I think that book is probably still in my bedroom at my mom's house. But
yeah.
So
you still have stuff at your mom's house.
Yeah. I haven't lived there in a very long time.
Yeah.
Hey, don't act like you don't have stuff at your parents' house.
No.
Yeah,
we packed it all up and took it to my house. Anyway, we digress. So I would definitely say like jumping into my entrepreneurial journey, like you said, and like joining network marketing, honestly, was a big pivotal thing for me. That like I started watching people and following people that were just seeing a bigger picture. And so like Alex said, personal development isn't always this frou-frou stuff. It's developing yourself in any sort of fashion. So whether that's, I just want to feel better about myself, or I want to be I see that people have things and I want those types of things too. And so at least, and this is some of the things I've been doing with some of my leaders on my team, of just being like, hey, let's just dream bigger. Like, go and find something you didn't even know existed. We were just watching a show last night, actually called Dreamers, because even at night, like, you can still be doing personal development, even though you're watching a TV show.
Yeah, it was a documentary, but it was still actually really good, and it was about like all these, different high-level entrepreneurs that basically from childhood were told, well, no, get your head out of the sky, blah blah blah, or whatever the case may be, and then they just kept pursuing their goals and their dreams and ended up achieving them.
Exactly.
And still working on them today.
Yeah. So we've had some really great milestones, some pitfalls, but also some great milestones in both our personal lives and in business. And so I'd love for us to share a little bit on what some of those things are.
Yeah.
That we've done. I know for me personally, from where I used to be and to where I am now, I do some of the things that just kind of come to mind is like, I'm not as reactive to things. Now, don't get me wrong. I can still freak out and react a bit, but I am less on the something happened, I immediately have to give a response. I had noticed that I am able now to take a step back, analyze the situation, and then make a decision on how I want to react to that.
Yeah. I mean, and I guess, for me, one of my biggest pitfalls and a lot of people's pitfall is between the knowing and it's the knowing doing factor, like the gap in between, like, hey, you know what you need to do, but you're not doing it. Because like there's a lot of people that, hey, they don't know what to do. So like they got to start learning and figuring out what to do. But there's also a whole lot of people that know what they need to do and they're just not doing it. So it was for me like narrowing the time between when I know what to do and then actually doing it is been a huge improvement.
Yeah. And I would say for both of us too, decision making. I know for me, now granted, I still am on like, I don't want to make decisions. You just make decisions. But when it comes to business and life things, I notice that it doesn't take me as long to have to like, well, I don't want to make the wrong decision. Now we're at least like, okay, let's just make a decision. Let's do it. And then if things get messed up, they get messed up. And then we can figure it out from there.
Yeah.
If you just, it's okay. It's okay. So that's one thing that yes, I know I hate making decisions for dinner. I don't want to have to decide. Like there's things I just want you to make decisions on. But when it's like, oh, we got a new lead in. So from wherever it came in from, maybe it was online, maybe it was from an ad that we did, maybe it was just from an email or something. Instead of being like, well, what do I do? How should I reach out? It's nope. We send a text message like this is the flow and we're going to try this out. And if we aren't getting responses, then we'll try something different. Or even like in our TikTok journey, we've been able to, okay, let's go all in. Let's try this out. Let's see what happens. Okay, well, what we were trying hasn't been working lately. So let's decide, what are we going to do? What are we going to change differently? And so being able to make some decisions of, hey, let's just try something a little bit different. So those are some of the like business, I would say, growths that that I've noticed. I did have another one and I can't remember what that is now. You talk. I've got to go find my notes.
Okay. Yeah. And again, for me, probably one of the biggest things is like not caring as much as what other people think. I mean, you're always going to get judged, especially when you do stuff online. Everybody's got an opinion.
Oh yeah.
And all of them stink. So, especially when you're doing stuff online. So you really just got to, roll with it. And, there's going to be haters no matter what. So just realize that those people are just going to hate on anybody and anything. So it doesn't really, they don't really matter. You really got to be thinking about the people like you're addressing, like the people you're trying to speak to. I see we got some comments rolling through. We'll get to those later. But like addressing like the people that actually care about you or care about your message, whatever those things, and just focus on that and not really worry about anybody else.
Yeah. They're not caring what other people think.
Yeah.
We're still working on it.
Yeah,
it's hard. It's hard, but I definitely, yeah.
Yeah. It's much easier said than done, but
yeah,
it's all right.
All right. So one of my own personal growths that I have done is, so Alex found this new workout plan and I never really liked change. And even Alex is like, I know it's different. I know it's not the exact thing that you've been using, the same app that you've been using for the last, 14 years, which in his defense, I don't like change, those types of things.
Yeah.
But part of my growth is I was like, okay, cool. Let's try a different app. I'll figure it out. And the very first time I'm using this app, I'm working out by myself. I don't know what I'm doing. And I could not that I wasn't actually getting nervous or upset by it. And I had even done one of the workouts wrong. I was like, Alex, what does this W mean? And he's like, it's your warm up. And I was like, oh, well, I did it wrong. And but I didn't let it. Normally I would have been like, oh, see, this is why I don't like change. This is why I don't want to try anything new or different. But I realized I didn't have that reaction. I was just like, oh, well, I just did my full weight. So I'm just going to skip the warm up and I'm going to continue going with my workout. And I wasn't stressed out. I didn't have anxiety. I wasn't freaking out about it. I wasn't complaining to him with a long voice note being like, meh, meh, meh. I was just like, oh, I did it wrong. Okay. I know for next time. So if you are noticing, if any of this sounds familiar for you, I'd love for you to be putting into the comments and just kind of letting us know, is any of this sounding familiar? What are some of those things you're just like, I hate this about myself, or man, I really realize that this is how I react to things, or I also hate making decisions. Like if any of these things that we're talking about sound familiar, pop those in the chat. We'd love to be hearing from you guys on some of the growth things that you guys want to be doing, whether it's in your personal life or in business.
Mm-hmm. There's somebody Jasmine commented, I think the hardest thing about adulting in life is never warned about was the dinner making decisions. Yeah, I think that's probably about the hardest thing in our marriage is the constant, what are we going to do for dinner?
I hate feeding myself. Like that is one thing. I don't know if it'll ever change, but I really do. I love eating, but I really hate making myself food. I really do.
I grew up as an only child, so I had to learn how to cook.
Yeah. All right. So some tips for personal development. Now, like Alex and I said, we didn't really like reading. Reading was not really our like forte. Again, I had eye issues. I still have eye issues. Reading, I just can't do it. It's just, I have tried, but literally physically, my eyeballs don't like to read things. So audiobooks, again, how can I shift? And this is something that we definitely learned from our life coach, Grant. He's like, okay, you don't like reading? You've got no excuses. Listen to an audiobook. I was like, okay, I can do that. So while I'm walking the dogs, while I'm doing a puzzle, I can still be active. I can still be doing personal development. So some of my favorite books that have made such a really big impact is The Big Leap. I don't remember who wrote it. I'll post it below or something. But The Big Leap was a big one. And then what was the one that I am having you read right now? The title of it. Again, sorry, notes not written down.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank.
Okay, well, we're drawing a blank on that one.
There's
10x is easier than 2x. That was another big one. There's just so many pivotal books that we've read recently that.
So somebody commented about they love Mel Robbins. Yeah, I think she's great. And again, like audiobooks, I think are for us, like as far as personal development goes, really key. So whether if I'm doing cardio, I can listen. It makes cardio not any more fun than what it already is.
But at least it distracts you a bit. Yeah,
and then windshield time. So if you got a commute or if you're driving, we've done several cross country trips, so we'll listen to we'll definitely listen to the radio and music and jam out, but then, we'll put on an audiobook and we'll listen to that for a while.
Or
different podcasts. So yeah, when you have that windshield time, it's great. Like, to be able to essentially multitask instead of just, listening to, whatever you normally would listen to. Like, not saying you got to stop listening to music altogether, because believe me, we do love listening to music and things, but being able to just work that into your routine.
And if listening to an audiobook, or you're like, I don't have the credits on Audible, you can definitely, like, I know one of the things that I did in the beginning was I just got on YouTube and I searched like pump up, not music, but like just personal development, or just finding some of those YouTube videos that are inspirational, that are they just really jived me up. And so in the beginning, that's what I would listen to. I would find one that's maybe 5 minutes, and it would just be like, just all these positive type of things. And it would really get into my skull, my thick skull at that time, of just how important it was to be around those positive things. So I would definitely say even for business and for personal, definitely consuming that personal development type of thing, whatever's going to be best for you. Maybe it's even looking for a quote, but also be aware of the type of people that you are hanging around with. So you are the sum of the
5 people you're around most.
Yes.
So there is a bit of a trick to this too. That yes, you have your people you interact with every single day. So trying to be around people that are positive and uplifting, and and even people that are maybe in a better situation or better business or whatever that whatever the case may be. But one of the tricks that I've learned too is if you're listening to audiobooks, so you're listening to authors or people in podcasts, like I could argue that you can count those in your 5 people you're surrounding yourself with, because you're now like absorbing and learning from these people at a higher level. And when I mean higher level, just higher level of business, or whatever field you're in, it like really does make a difference too.
Yeah. So just kind of take inventory. I'm not saying that you have to go and completely change your friend group or anything like that, but just kind of be writing down who really are the top people that we're hanging around with. Is it your mom or your family? Is it like your top friends that you're hanging around with, or that you're texting, or those types of things? Just kind of take some inventory and then stop and look. Are they a positive person, or are they kind of more on the negative side of things? There have definitely been times where I'm like, man, I really need to be cutting back on the amount of time that I am hanging around with this person, because they're just very draining. They drain my energy. And so I deliberately am hanging around with people who are uplifting. They're bigger thinkers. They're pushing the limits on, well, why can't we do that? Who says we can't do that? We're going to go prove them wrong. Like those types of people, they're like, the sky's the limit. Let's go do that. Because those are the people that are going to be making those big shifts in life. If you're sitting around going, man, I do not like my life, I don't know what I need to change, but I don't absolutely love my life, then here are the things that you can be doing. Some small changes. Everything that we did have been small micro changes. Now there have been larger jumps to like, hey, we're in a big pivotal spot in our life. We were building a house. We were doing big things in our business. And Alex and I had all these different paths, and we had no idea which way we wanted to go with it. Like I said, it's like a field of just all these open doors, and we don't know what's right. Should we go this way? Should we go this way? And so we realized we need a life coach. We need someone to help us. And so this was a big jump. We had to be completely investing month after month after month into ourselves, giving someone else hundreds of dollars every month. But it was so worth it. It was so pivotal to make this big jump.
Yeah. And, really, what he helped us do was just kind of work through, all these different things. And I mean, it wasn't that he was making these decisions for us. It was just that he was helping us work through, like, hey, what were our next steps? And just, it was just another person to bounce ideas off of that had our best interests, at heart, which was great. And, one other tip, we'll move to like staying motivated and focused. So oftentimes people, kind of going back to that knowing doing factor, and I think like the analysis paralysis that people end up having, like whether it's, hey, I'm going to start posting on social media, or I'm going to start, whatever the case may be, like for the next step of where you're at is, people get this analysis paralysis and they think it needs to be perfect. And then they end up doing nothing because they keep like trying to make it perfect, when really your goal should just be focusing on getting better. And it can be little changes, sometimes it's some big changes and some big jumps forwards, but it's really about focusing focusing on getting better. Because like, and again, so we exercise, we are not fitness influencers by any means. Like, we exercise to stay healthy and, be able to move around,
be better in our business.
But like, a great analogy would be like, if I went to go try and run a marathon right after I get off this live, like I'm not going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Like what I need to focus on is, well, I'm going to run a mile, or I'll run a couple of miles, and then, make sure I'm doing the proper things. And then maybe, after a few weeks of doing that, like now I can run several more miles. And then you're working towards something, and not being like, well, I need to just go run a marathon right now. Like nobody, I mean, David Goggins, I guess, is probably that kind of, it would be that kind of person. But most everybody is not going to be able to just do that right off the cuff. So just understand what you're focusing on is just getting better day after day, or week after week, and year after year. Like it's just focusing on getting better and not trying to get that one perfect thing. Another great example of, very large companies, and, Google, Apple, like, when they're releasing new phones, like you get it. And then what? You immediately need to do updates. And then there's more updates that come. So when they launch these products, like they're not 100% perfect right out of the box.
No.
Like there's going to be updates, there's going to be changes.
Almost nothing in life is perfect.
No. I mean, yeah. I mean, you buy.
Why do we expect that?
People that buy new vehicles, there ended up being recalls. You got to take it back to the dealership. You know, they figure out things. Like nothing is ever perfect. So it's just focusing on getting better. And like that's the great thing is you're not really, you know, I mean, I guess you can consider yourself a product, but you're not launching this, you know, like a car or a phone or anything. So like you just need to focus on making yourself better.
Exactly. So one of my last tips that I would say is to help you stay motivated and stay focused is write out a list of goals that you want to do. And now I know some people are like, oh my goodness, you use the G word. I don't like goals. Okay, well, get over yourself and just hear me out. Maybe it's not a goals list. Maybe it's things that you want. Like everybody has things that they want. Do you want to be making 10K from whatever business you're building? Do you want to be rank advancing if you are in the direct sales industry? Do you want to have a really amazing husband who just gets you and cooks for you all the time? What are those things that you want? And write those things down. Keep them. Maybe it's in your phone. Maybe it's on a piece of paper. Well, I know for us this year, we went through and we made out a whole list of goals of things that we wanted to hit. And we haven't been lately, but we're going to start looking at those more often, making sure that those things are very much in the forefront of our mind, because what you focus on expands. So this is another challenge that I give you guys on top of looking at your friends list. Challenge yourself of how, like, what are your thoughts? Are you like, be more aware of how are you thinking? Or do you have more negative thoughts, or do you have more positive thoughts? And the sooner you can catch yourself, because this is definitely one of my big growths, is the sooner you can start catching yourself going, okay, that's actually a negative thought. I need to stop. How can I make it more positive? Even if it's like, it's raining outside, but I'm like, hey, it's raining outside and I don't have to water the clover.
Yeah.
Yes. Go me. So this is some of the challenges that we give you guys. I hope that you can be taking some of them. We've had you here for a little while, so we hope that you guys can subscribe to our channel, be following us along. We're going to be doing these videos every Wednesday for you, and we're excited to just kind of be showing up more. This is one of the big leaps that we are doing for ourselves and challenging ourselves, is to be coming to you guys, and we'd love to hear more from you, so definitely give us a subscribe. Invite some people that you're like, hey,
follow us.
Go and listen to this video. So we would love any shares, any likes, any of that kind of stuff. So thanks very much, guys, and we'll be talking to you soon. Bye.